Hello and welcome as we are joined for the Bengaluru Derby in the I League 2 25-26 season. It's Bengaluru United taking on Sporting Club Bengaluru, and it's just the fifth match of the campaign, and it promises to be an absolute belter because it's between two teams from the wonderful footballing city of Bengaluru who take on each other after years of pipping each other here and there and meeting in their local leagues, meeting in one of the national leagues a couple of seasons ago, and now it all boils down to this again. To old seasons past them and new seasons and new horizons that they're chasing, this game is all but the 3 points. It's more than that. It's about bragging rights. It's about what happened in the past. It's about who's going to lead going into the future. And it's about these two sides who will be battling it out. As we take a look at the way Bengaluru United line up, they've got Manjunath Abdul, Sunsaba Ribhav, Nikhil, Lal Rezwala, Vidyananda, Jurva Detol, Allen, and Lijo in the starting lineup, a 4-2-2 put out by Mohanraj Nalappan. On the bench, not starting actually, Akshana Tyagi, who was their top scorer with 8 goals last season, but he is not starting. Lots of options as well in the form of Jacob, Srijit, Dhruv, Ralte, Raghui, Ajit, Maximus, Sevin, and Syed. And for Sporting Club Bengaluru, Alex Praveen has put out this lineup: Arjun, Chabin, Sabarin, Devadat, Gurjeet between the sticks, Sharan, Asif, Kartik, Jibin, the captain, Shubham, and Shanid Valan. Going in with the 4-3-3 approach as compared to the latter 4-4-2. And options on the bench as well. A slightly smaller bench actually when it comes to Sporting Club Bengaluru. There's Gagandeep, Shreyash, Ishan, Vignesh, and Raul Almeida. So just the five options for them. Coming down to the centre of sporting excellence. Fantastic facility here in Bengaluru. We've had quite a few games over the last couple of years, but no one bigger than this. And to just talk you through the history that these two clubs have, firstly individually and then intertwined with each other. Both of them have come up the ranks quite significantly in the last few seasons, starting off with Bengaluru United, who were founded only 8 years ago, back in 2018, when they played the then I League qualifiers, similar division to this, the I League 2, and they were back to back BDFA Super Division champions in Bangalore, which is the top state league. Did well in the 2021 Durand Cup. They were semi-finalists there, won the Stafford Challenge Cup in 2023. They have been playing in the I League 2 since that 2020 season. They didn't have the best of runs. They came last in the group stage for the first couple of seasons. Then they topped the group in 2022-23, but then in the final stage came fourth. And in 23-24 and 24-25, last two seasons, they have finished fourth, so just out of that battle for promotion to the I League 3, to the I League, which is now the Indian Football League, which is doing thoroughly well. And then on the other hand, their arch rivals, Sporting Club Bengaluru, the Golden Tigers, who were founded only 4 years ago, back in 2022, when they came in with a bang in their inaugural season, they knocked Bengaluru United off their perch. In 22-23, they became the Super Division champions of the BDFA League and qualified for the first edition of the I League 3. Then they came third in the I League 3 and qualified for I League 2. Then they won the I League 2 in 2023, got back to back promotions, and played last season's I League. Unfortunately, they got relegated last season, and now they have dropped back down to the I League 2 to face, guess who? Bengaluru United, their old foes, who they actually stopped from completing a hat trick of titles in the Super Division. So it's pretty poetic. And these two teams did play each other actually in the I League 2 back in 2024, and both those games were won by Sporting Club Bengaluru. So they have had the better of Bengaluru United in this competition before, and it was the season that they went on to be champions. And they finished first, of course, and Bengaluru United finishing 13 points behind their rivals. This time round, they'll want to change it with a spot for of promotion up for grabs, and it's all to play for, of course. And back in 22-23, what a title chase it was, what a title run it was. A battle rather, with Sporting Club Bengaluru winning by 1 point as they got 46 points in 18 games. So the two teams have made their way out, and hopefully I've given you enough context to know how big a game this is. Of course, derbies are derbies, but it's the history that is built on those derbies over the years. And within 4 years, the rivalry, the healthy rivalry that has been built between Bengaluru United and Sporting Club Bengaluru is one to cherish and to build upon for years to come, because it only makes Bengaluru football, Karnataka football, and of course Indian football an even brighter place when you have teams who are pushing each other, taking each other to greater heights. It's always important. So, quick team pictures to commemorate what should be a fun afternoon. Two skippers will be coming in as well. Nikhil Rajkumar captaining Bengaluru United, and Sporting Club Bengaluru led by Jibin Devasi. And here are the officials for today. Mohammad Junaid Sajad is the main referee. Anson C. Anto and Pradeep A are his assistants, and fourth official is Thomas Melbin. Rajiv Chaudhary, match commissioner. And my name is Liam. I'm your commentator for the first time on the mic in this season's I League 2. And it's always exciting to be part of the national leagues in the country, whichever tier they are in or we are in. Already the Indian Football League has been fantastic, and Sporting Club Bengaluru will be quite disappointed that they haven't stayed on in that league after doing so well to get there within a few seasons. And Bengaluru United have actually not been able to make it there. They've been trying for quite a while, basically double of what Sporting Club Bengaluru have tried. But maybe this could be the season that it comes good. And they have to do it, and they have to start off against their rivals. So here we go. It's all about rivalries renewed in the I League 2 this season as the Bengaluru derby kicks off. Bengaluru United take on Sporting Club Bengaluru, sides who have dominated in their local leagues. And for one, Bengaluru United, a team who has almost got there in this competition, but a side in Sporting Club Bengaluru who, on their first time of asking, managed to lift the title and move into the coveted IFL at that point, I League. But now they've dropped back down. And who do they face second? They may be namesakes, they may be from the same part of the country, but these two teams, They have their own legacies and they're building them within a short span of time. First ball through doesn't really work out. And what an ascension for Sporting Club Bengaluru. I League 3. In fact, if you take it a step before that, it's the Super Division for the BDSA, then I League 3, then I League 2, and then unfortunately a relegation in the I League last year. And of course, you see a similar pattern developing for the likes of Diamond Harbour and Chanmari, who find themselves doing pretty well in the Indian Football League this season. Of course, Bengaluru United playing in their red strip, which we've come to know over the years. And Sporting Club Bengaluru, known as the Golden Tigers, playing in their golden strip or yellow strip, whatever you would like to call it. Nice ball down the right hand side, might be kept in. No, it can't. It's a fast surface here. The Ravid Padukone Center of Sporting Excellence had quite a few games here. Different fields, of course, different sports disciplines taking place throughout. Camps and academies and workshops and everything. Great facility. That's a great ball down towards the left hand side, taken nicely. A bit of an unexpected nutmeg there from Shubham Rana, and that'll be a foul. Straight into the back there. Quite an awkward fall as well, as Vidyananda just goes to check on his teammate. Looks like it was Chunsaba. Here's Vidyananda. With all his experience, you can spot him from a mile away in terms of his footballing abilities and also the hairstyle. That's kept in play. A bit of possession to start off with here from Bengaluru United. They haven't had much of it before this. Nice turn. Tries to play it down the right hand side. Opportunity now maybe to turn and put it into the area. Decent ball in. Cleared away. Vidyananda was waiting to try and pounce on that rebound, but then plays it in. He plays it backwards rather. Now the ball has been played in. And another Bengaluru United player is down. But it's all okay. Possession given away very cheaply. There's a run down the left-hand side. He's trying for that perfect ball there, Chunsaba. And in the first few minutes of the game, you want to take those chances. You want to try and see whether you can do something out of the box. But maybe on occasions, it's better just keeping possession. And as I said, what a game this promises to be. Five minutes in, you can already feel that the energy is high. That's the most important. Especially in the beginning of a season, you can feel that the players take a bit of time to get into the game. Alex Praveen and his boys will be looking to maybe get an early goal. They do like to score quite early in this competition. Flicked away. And now maybe a chance for a counter. Depends on who picks the ball up. But a bit of spin on the ball means that it will nicely be watched out there by Chabin Rabha. Decent ball down the line, but well dealt with there by Lal. And the long throw, which has been quite popular in Indian football for the last few years, but it's gaining its traction once again in the world game. It's quite far to throw from, almost near the technical area. That's a fantastic bullet throw, headed away by the red shirts, though on the rebound, decent attempt as long as he kept it in the goal frame. And now this could be a counter-attacking opportunity for Bengaluru United. And he's tried to chip the goalie from there. I'm not too sure what that was all about. It was a good run there from Nikhil Kumar. Great pace to get there. I think from Enam Jurwa. But was that the right option? I don't think so. Great challenge there from Shubham Rana. A few of the defenders almost running into each other, but then another long ball. Oh, that is awkward. That is very awkward. And they give themselves a bit of a, or give each other a bit of a nervous hand high five there. But Alan Nongri and Manjunath almost made a mess of it. And luckily, it was a flat header back to him. If it was slightly loopy, which is usually what you do to make it easier for your keeper, it would have probably gone over his head, and that would have been catastrophic in the first 8 minutes. But at the end of the day, they managed it well. Another long ball from Lalrenzwara. Falls kindly here to Ribhav. Puts in a decent ball, but nobody on the other end of it. And falls kindly there for Asif. Jibin to Chabin. Lets it go. Doesn't find one of his teammates. Chunsaba, very experienced player as well. Likes to get a lot of the ball, play those short passes, as does Vidyananda. And that's what they like to do. That'll be a foul. Vidyananda just stopped in his tracks there as he tried to play the 1-2. Great ball over the top. Nice defensive header out. And here come Bengaluru United again. That's a decent attempt. It was always going wide, but the dive came in from the keeper, Gurjeet. Didn't get enough bend on it there, Chunsaba, but that's the first decent attempt of the game. And he's hurt himself here, Gurjeet. Not sure why he went for that dive. It was always going wide, and he's hurt himself on something that should have just been watched away. Nothing too serious, of course. Couple of discussions between Chunsaba and Ribhav. But as I said, it's great to see these sides within their short span, and there are quite a few of those, like the likes of Diamond Harbour also, who within 6-7 years or even 5 years of their existence have made their way right to the I League 2, to the Indian Football League, and maybe even the ISL in the next couple of years. That's why the pyramid has always been important. India has its own sort of system as compared to some other, maybe European pyramids, where you give focus on the state leagues. You do well in your state league, you go up to leagues like the I League 3, do well there, then automatically, of course, I League 2, and then suddenly, before you know it, you're knocking on the door of the ISL if you do well in the I League 2. Sorry, the I League or the Indian Football League. And I called a few games in the Indian Football League a couple of weeks ago, and the likes of Diamond Harbour and Chanmari, who have made it up from the likes of the I League 3 and 2, are well within reach of an an ISL spot if they play well and if they keep going. Of course, still early days, but that's the motivation. Ball down the left hand side, nothing to it. Runs out of play quite easily. And of course, the stewardship of Nilappan Mohanraj, Bengaluru United will be hoping they can get across the line this time round, as I said, in their first I League 2 campaign, which was known as the I League qualifiers. Didn't do well. Came bottom of their group twice in a row. Then topped the group, but couldn't get promotion as they came fourth out of fifth in the final round. Post pandemic, it was a little different format in the qualifiers. Now it's a full fledged league. Nice ball around the corner. Doesn't really work out, but then a loose touch eventually did. A couple of loose touches actually from either side. Loose ball pounced on there by Lijo, also very experienced. Time for a ball in. There's no one there. First post, second post, decent delivery. Shouts for handball. That was pretty close. Slightly awkward. Maybe it was off his chest first. But Bengaluru United are now looking slightly more threatening every time they move forward. Cut back inside to the right, and that was never on from Lijo's point of view. It was always much easier to make the cross himself. Nikhil Raj was waiting in the center. Surprising to see Akshana Tyagi not in the starting lineup. Maybe not 100% just yet. And Sporting Club Bengaluru have already played their first game. Let's get back to that. That is a foul, and it will be the Golden Tigers' way. Chance to put something in the area, perhaps. Sporting Club Bengaluru playing probably the game of the match week, actually, versus MYJ GMSC. What a game that was. Finished 3-3 eventually. Gibbon puts a ball into the area towards the second post. Headed away quite nicely. Bit of a push there from Vidyananda. Don't think it was a foul. And they're going to try and take this quickly. Chunsaba has been sent back by the fourth official. Rightfully so. Probably would have had to go back and take it anyway. Decent flick by Ribhav. Nobody on the end of it though. And now it falls to the center for Sporting Club Bengaluru. Gibbon plays it left to Arjun. There's a space in the center. Nice turn there from Shubham Rana. Plays it through. Good idea. but not deft enough for the run that was being made. So as I was saying, Sporting Club Bengaluru took the lead early on in the 22nd minute thanks to Asif. Then Devadatt got the second in the 33rd. Then they conceded two in the second half, 66th and 74th minute. MYJ GMSC scored a couple. Then Thirumalai scored again, 75th minute. But they conceded again in the 88th, and that was an absolute roller coaster of a game. What a way to kickstart the I League 2. But Sporting Club Bengaluru would have been feeling that that was the game to get their first points, first 3 points actually, in Cooperage Stadium. Three draws actually in the first match week, that game, and then there was Karbi Anglong Morning Star and Sudeva with a 0-0 draw, Niroka and Delhi with a 1-1 draw, and United actually winning the match week, if you could say that, picking up a 1-0 victory over Sporting Club de Goa. Big 3 points there for United. Of course, a very long season to go, but all to play for promotion to the Indian Football League, which after its rebranding has been, or always has been, a fantastic showcase of Indian football. Loose touch there from the keeper, but then he clears it away. But of course, it's great to finally just have a bit of football. That's given away poorly. Touches haven't been the best from the players this afternoon. Can tell that ball just isn't sticking at the moment. It is not the easiest when you're playing on this sort of a surface. It's an AstroTurf surface. And of course, many of the players are used to it. Bengaluru United playing their home games here. Bidyananda, nice ball. Lijo takes it down decently, cuts inside. I didn't see that there was a runner coming behind him. But either ways, they've been slightly more impressive whenever they've got the ball, Bengaluru United. Sporting Club haven't really moved forward enough. Looking slightly tentative, I'm not sure why. Oh, they've given away possession. This is a chance, not taken. Now Lijo. Oh, you've got to shoot there. No, not too sure why Nikhil Raj Kumar didn't just put his boot through it. It was on his left foot. Just put your foot through it. Whatever happens, happens, because they've been gifted a chance there and they've gifted it right back. Return presents were a thing in this game. Awkward one. Don't think it's handball, but it does fall to a yellow shirt. It's Devadatt. Cuts inside. Sets it up. Shubham. At least he's put his foot through it. That's better from Sporting Club Bengaluru. Opening minutes of the game, you've got to take your chances. Test the goalkeepers. Nicely done from Devadatt. But we've seen that whenever a player is cutting inside, it's quite expected from the defenders, and Nalappan Mohanraj not too happy with the defensive work there. I think it was Lal Rezwala who's just quietly played the ball away here. Was trying to chest the ball and it was pretty low. Could have easily taken it with his feet. And of course, lost balance in the bargain. Holding on to possession pretty well here. The likes of Chinsaba. but I would like to see him moving forward. Speaking of moving forward, here's a chance for Jurwa. Cuts to his right foot. Couple of yellow shirts there stopping him. Here's Chinsaba, as I mentioned. Chunsaba, rather. But the shot wasn't the best from him. And that's exactly not gone down well with their coach. Rappan Mohanraj has been there, done it all. Played for the Indian national team, under 19s, under 23s. Had a very good playing career in terms of the amount of clubs he played for. Top names such as Mohan Bagan, Sporting Club de Goa, Atletico de Kolkata ATK, as they were known before, Chennai, and also finished off at Churchill Brothers. Almost halfway through this first half, no real opportunities on goal so far, especially the fact that Nikhil had a chance to shoot but didn't. I think that's the biggest talking point. But just slowly getting their way into this game. Bengaluru United didn't play that first game. That was the first match week. That was when they were off. There's a chance to cross, decent delivery, but straight to the keeper's hands. He smashes it long. Should be easy for the defense. That's a push. That's an unnecessary push from Abdul Hanan. I expect a lot better from someone like him. Devdutt had no chance of winning that ball. It was too high. It was far away from him. Unnecessary push, and that will not really please Mr. Nalappan either. Another chance now from a set piece for Sporting Club Bengaluru, and that's the most they've actually had apart from that shot that Shubham took. This is very far out to take a shot. But are they going to try and test Manjunath? Chabin Rabha leaves it alone. I'm not sure what that was. Both the players were pretty close to each other. Keeper tries to stop it from going for a corner. After the deflection, it will be a corner. First of the game. Was that a plan? Both the potential free kick takers basically went into each other. All sorts of different approaches nowadays. Lots of talking in the area. An opportunity now from a corner for Sporting Club Bengaluru. Decent delivery, but very good clearance by Abdul Hanan. A bit of a shot back in, but couldn't be taken down by Chabin Rabha. I think Bengaluru United have got to be careful when they are defending, giving away useless fouls. And that's what's giving Sporting Club a few chances to put something into the area. They have quite a few tall players who are good in the air. Playing the ball along nicely now. Good pressure though. But they beat that pressure. Great challenge. Got there just in time there. Did Arjun. And a bit of a light foul called. But a foul nonetheless. Arjun getting down to his left and making a great slide challenge just before. I think it was Enam who could make it through. One back nicely. Bidyananda plays a long ball, hits the behind of someone. Didn't really know too much about that interception, but it'll go down as one. Slightly sloppy in terms of possession from both sides. Got to hold on to the ball slightly better. That's a nice one too, but nothing off it. Bit of a loose touch again there from Vidyananda. You don't see that too often. That's a poor pass. Easy pickings. Decent turn by Ribhav. And Nikhil, decides not to play any of those long balls, and possession back to the boys in red. FC Bengaluru United coming fourth in back-to-back seasons. Akshana Tyagi lighting up the stage last year with 8 goals, the most in the I-League 2. They would love for him to be able to get onto the pitch as soon as possible. There's another ball through. This is nicely taken down. Chance to shoot. Awkward one. Well saved. But straight to the keeper eventually. That's a lot better. Look at this. Great ball from Lal Rezwala. Taken down by Lijo and set up well for Nikhil, but he's comfortable on his left foot. Should have taken the first one on his left. I'm still thinking about that one. Or otherwise a very good chance that was created out of a good long ball. They like to play the long balls, do FC Bengaluru United, as we've seen. And why not if you can play it in that particular manner? Speaking of long, might see a throw here. This is not the biggest run-up that they'll get on this right-hand side, or the far side from where we're watching from. Long ball, looks for the flick on, cleared away somehow, and a shot from a distance will go straight into the cage behind the goal post. Fans are well protected from any of those shots, and it looks like we'll go into a bit of a cooling break. 29 minutes in, not much to speak about, apart from the already brewing rivalry between these two sides representing Bengaluru, who have had a great history in the Indian football circuit in the last couple of decades, and these two sides are adding to it. The first game of this I-League 2 campaign for Bengaluru United, so for them it's about getting into the flow of things. For Sporting Club, they already played one match, so it's about ironing out the issues that took place in the last one. And of course, stopping their city rivals. All to play for. Nothing like derbies. And we saw a fantastic derby in the Indian Football League as well between Aizawl and Chanmari, again from the same city of Aizawl. What a cracker that was. A couple of Indian Football League games taking place as well today. The likes of Dempo, who got promoted. And Diamond Harbour as well. Dempo the season before, of course. Back to the action now. Down the left-hand side, there's a bit of space. Lijo decides not to cross first time, sets it up for a cross. Delivery towards the second post. Kept alive. Chance to shoot. They're asking for handball. I don't think so. And Ribov could have shot it away. It didn't fall to him. And this is a nice spell for Bengaluru United, even though it's either side of the cooling break. That's a poor pass. Needs to be better there. So after a few of those long balls, then a bit of intricate passes and then a ball into the area. So all in all, using different styles together. Now ball down the right hand side. Here's Enam. Has a bit of space if he wants to go there, but there are a couple of defenders. Ball gets stuck. And that's a nice turn from Sharon. Now it might just open up for Sporting Club Bengaluru. Shubham does well, plays it to the right. But Bengaluru United do well to backtrack. Easy ball. Nicely taken there by Manjunath. All day long you expect the goalie to come for that at this level. So these two sides first met in the I-League 2 in the 24-25 season. The 23-24 season, I beg your pardon, where Sporting Club Bengaluru won the, or rather did the double over their opponents. They won the home game that they had in Bangalore Football Stadium by 2-0. And then they won here as well, 1-0. So Bengaluru United will try to right those wrongs. That's a decent attempt from Nikhil. Try to take it down. But as I said, there's always someone behind. So they're not really getting their awareness correct. Both teams taking the ball down. And on this AstroTurf surface especially, it's a bit bouncy. So once you take the ball down on your chest or you shift inside, there is a bit of time before the ball settles where the defenders can come and make their ground back. So that's something they've got to just tidy up a little bit. Headed away will be a yellow ball. It's the derbies that you always look forward to in these competitions. But Bengaluru United will be wanting to win their first in the I-League 2. Keeper's not tested as yet. Maybe soon. Bit of a flick on, didn't really work. And now Nikhil decides to play it backwards one more time, not to effervescent when it comes to the counter attack, but now they can let loose. Ribhav plays it left. Lijo goes down the left hand side, plays it through. There was nobody making that first post run, and that was the issue. Everybody going slightly deeper, and the runs have got to be better from the strikers and the wingers. Lijo does so well to put it into a great position, but there was no one home. Just about 10 minutes to go in this first half. Still waiting for our first proper chance, I would say. Vidyananda, nice ball through, dictating it in the midfield. Enam has been good down the right. He's been very good in this move. Keeps going, but runs into a bit of traffic in the form of a yellow shirt. Now it falls towards Shubham. No, it doesn't actually. Out of the screen, that was a good win back. Lijo plays it through. It's a decent ball in. This could be the goal. Oh, in fact, it was closer to the keeper than I thought. But what a move that would have been for Bengaluru United. Still looking for a goal versus Sporting Club Bengaluru in the I-League 2, as I said. Last time round, it was a 2-0 loss and a 1-0 loss. So they didn't get on the score sheet. Apart from Karthik, who actually scored an own goal. Unfortunately. You just get the feeling that the energy will get a little higher as the game progresses. They're comfortable in their possession. Bengaluru United. Here's Lijo, who has lit up this first half. Not the best of passes there from him towards Ribhav. Had a bit of time, which he usually does take. Here's Shubham. Runners beyond him. Holds on to it though. Defensive shape has been solid from both teams. That being said, the attacks have to do better though. Flick beyond. Chance to cross on that right hand side. Not the best of balls, but still a little awkward. Also, a big bit of spin on the turf when it does have those revs on it. Arjun with the throw, lost out there by Devdutt. Here's Vidyananda. Should get it back in the midfield. In fact, he doesn't. Abdul. Lal Rezwala. Both the coaches pretty vocal on the touchlines. You can hear all the more when there's not too much of crowd, even though a few people have come out to watch this game. Many tuned in hopefully on the Indian Football YouTube channel. All over the top, headed away. And that's a poor ball from Karthik. Nothing really working out with that particular throw either. Just waiting for the others to do something here. Bit of a chess game so far between these two. Shubham tries to turn. Looks like the fourth official has got the added time already. There's a bit of time to go. That is a foul, and that'll be a free kick in a decent position for Bengaluru United. Out of nothing, really. And time for the physio to make his way on. Alan Nongri is the one down. I think there was a bit of an elbow to the face or an arm to the face, and that's why this has happened. Either ways, will be a free kick to Ribhav. As Alan gets a bit of the attention. Here's Ribhav for Bengaluru United. Not the best of deliveries. Easy headed away. Junsaba takes it down. Vidyananda holds on to it. And Abdul Hanan plays it backwards, and they don't make the most of that free kick, but now they could. An arm is brought down, but that's not a foul. Good call from the ref. And Sinsi Anto and Pradeep A, the assistants, along with Mohammad Junaid Sajad, who is the main referee. That's a good run, but the pass needed to be played earlier, and then the foul has been called a bit later. Maybe for a bit of afters there on Sharon, who made a good run through. In fact, it was Karthik Thirumalai who made that run. Physio called on again, so those added minutes will probably get added on to. There's a good run, and there was a player down the right hand side for Karthik to try and find, but didn't happen. Here's Jibin. Can we see a goal before half time to give any of these teams a bit of an advantage? There we see probably 4 minutes will be added on, unless something happens in the next three, but that's for that later. Jibin puts it into a decent area, headed on, another header. Bit of a scramble there. I think two of the Sporting Club players went for the same ball, and that was awkward. One of the Bengaluru United players basically ran into both of them. Looks like it was Enam. But either ways, he's got to get up, and his team have got to focus because there's another chance. Karthik Tirumalai, and looks like a bit of cramp on the other side as well for Gurjeet Singh, who hasn't had much to do actually. Either ways, here's Karthik figuring out where he's going to put this one. Towards the second post, Shubham can't leap as high as the ball was. Of course, they were defending that with 10 people. And needs to get back on from the center line, so he couldn't receive that ball. There is no Enam there for now. He should come on soon. He will take the throw. In fact, he'll leave it for his teammate, Lal Rizwala. Not much of a pull there, I would say, but then it's back to Enam. Lal Rizwala puts the ball in. That's a decent one. Zipped through everybody, actually. Over everybody, but eventually nobody could get the touch. United get it back. Tackles flying in. Nobody keeping on, holding on to possession for now. Another long ball played. Decent towards the right hand side, but that's a poor touch. He will bring it back down. And the challenge comes in from Allen to stop Karthik after the second time of asking. The first time, if he did get it correct, then he could have just sprayed the ball into some space, and 4 minutes will be added on at the end of the first half. Nothing comes of that one. There's Bidyananda, almost threads the needle once again. His passing has been superb. Just like to see him move forward a little bit more, maybe use those passes once he gets closer to the penalty area. Good turn from Ribhav, puts it into the area, but again, the positioning from the strikers, I think, has to be questioned. There were two men in yellow, and the striker was behind both. Really good turn by Ribhav. Poor defending, I would say. And there you go. But that being said, he could have put in a better cross. Now that you look at it, he would have also seen that there were two yellow shirts, so maybe he should have put that slightly higher. But either way, it's good try. Time for a cross. Off the corner. Oh, he's almost got an Olympico there. Chance to shoot. Chunsaba. Blocked. And that could have been the lead. Chunsaba once again. Easy pickings this time for Gurjeet. Let's get a closer look at this. Did it go straight onto the crossbar? Can't really tell from this angle, but either way, that was close. Another ball in. Both the teams suddenly coming alive towards the end of the half. Looking for that first half lead, which so far none of them have been able to get. Either ways, it's been a pretty even first half, I would say. I said that these teams have been neck and neck in terms of their journey, in terms of the Super Division, where they were pretty close to each other a few years ago as well. Still are. And the Kickstart has also been doing well. They have also made their way into the I League 3 in the past few seasons. That's a decent ball. Should be cleared away though. Not the best of defending. Has to be cleared away just about in time by Abdul Hanan, but it's still a chance for Sporting Club Bengaluru. Chance for a ball into the area. In fact, it's a shot which has struck the side netting. A better pass maybe should have been the option taken. But somehow it found its way into the box. The ball and the man both actually. Last few seconds. Chunsaba for a second thought that he would put it through. As Vidyananda. Good ball over the top, headed away. By Arjun. Last chance now. Oops, that was an awkward one. He was just passing the ball to him. Time to put it into the area if they want to get a goal. Doesn't look like it, so it will be the deadlock unbroken at halftime at the center of Sporting Excellence Arena 1. Nothing to choose between the sides who have a similar name, come from the same city, but have had different histories in the I League 2. But for now, it's 0-0 between FC Bengaluru United and Sporting Club Bengaluru as this derby hangs in the balance. So there we go. That's how it stands. And hopefully we'll see a few goals in the second half. But for now, it's 0-0 between Bengaluru United and Sporting Club Bengaluru. We'll come back shortly for the second half. We're back from the Center of Sporting Excellence here in Bengaluru, where the two sides are from this city, of course, Bengaluru United and Sporting Club Bengaluru, both locking horns, none being able to score, and always looking over their shoulders or beyond themselves as to where one of the other teams are. Well, for now, they're neck and neck. So here we go. It was in the BDFA 22-23 season where these two sides were only separated by a point, and Sporting Club Bengaluru won the league. But it was in the last I League 2 campaign where both of them were available. That's an awkward one, but cleared away. Where both of the teams played, where it was a 13-point difference in 23-24, where Sporting Club Bengaluru won the I League 2, went into the I League, and left their peers behind them. But they got relegated last year, and they're back into the I League 2 along with Bengaluru United, who I wouldn't say were playing catch up to Sporting Club Bengaluru. It's just that they haven't got there yet. That's a bit of a foul. Everybody does it in their own time, of course. But it's about making it out of the I League 2 right now. That's what FC Bengaluru United will be thinking about. They've been here for quite a few seasons, as I've said. A couple of fourth place finishes, a couple of final rounds when it was the qualifiers, a couple of first round exits. Is this the year they'll be thinking it is? Many of the teams who have moved up into the Indian Football League as well. But that's the grander scheme of things. You've got to start off by winning games, especially against your rivals, especially in derbies. And that is something that Bengaluru United couldn't do a couple of years ago. So this year they'll be focusing on that first. Of course, this is their first game of the season, so already an opportunity, I beg your pardon, to get the better of their rivals. As you can hear, second ball close. You don't want the second ball to be easily taken down, especially by the likes of Bidyananda. I think they will, or would have spoken about that in the halftime break, Alex Praveen and his side, that you can't be giving Bidyananda Singh so much of time on the ball. Eventually, he will pick a pass and he will make you pay. Here he is again. Gets it back. Chunsaba's there, but he plays it towards the left-hand side. There's an overlapping run here from Allen. Lee Joe cuts inside, keeps going. There was a slight touch from a yellow shirt, which led to the ball getting away from him. Here's Sabaran. Plays it through into the center. A bit of space here for Sharon. Shubham. He didn't really see an option there. Just tried to keep the ball, but couldn't. Allen plays it wide towards Lijo, who likes to try and cut inside. He has a bit of space, but he's been shown outside. Lijo keeps going on the left foot, plays it through. Very well collected there by Gurjeet. Good handling from the keeper, as we've seen from both ends actually. Vidyananda with another dink over the top. This could be offside. It did look offside as he collected. It's all about the man with the blue hair, Bidyananda Singh. As I said, you can spot him from a mile away, but he is spotting his teammates from absolutely anywhere. That's a decent ball through on the other side, actually. Good defensive work by the likes of Abdul Hanan. Only few options on the bench. Only four outfielders can be chosen from when it comes to the Sporting Club. They've got Shreyash, Ishan, Vignesh, and Rahul. And then Gagandeep in between the sticks if required. Of course, the substitutes will warm up. Not sure how many will be made. Asif looks like he'll be delivering this one. Thought of a short corner. In fact, no, it's not going to be a short corner. It's going to be Karthik Thirumalai, who's taken most of the set pieces. Takes it decently well, flicked away. Nothing much comes of it though. The possession now for Sporting, who didn't have too much of the ball in the first half. But just like that, whenever they have had possession, not made the most of it. Too many long balls to no avail, actually. Hanan plays it towards the left. There's Detol. Lijo, who has been one of the best players on the pitch today, along with Bidyananda, they find each other really well. Runs into traffic there. Was not an easy turn from Gibbons' point of view. And back towards the centre backs. Chunsaba. Decent ball through. Lijo looks like he's onside. This could be the chance for Bengaluru United. The ball was a little too hard for the on-rushing Ribhav Sardesai. And Mohan Raj Nalappan is livid. As he should be. That was a great chance. Chunsaba plays it through. Lijo just let the ball run towards the left-hand side. He could have gone himself. He puts a good ball in. But that was tough. It was slightly behind Ribhav Sardesai. You can understand why he couldn't find the target from there. Slightly lighter ball. But again, it's Lijo who's causing the problems. Chunsaba getting a little active as well there. Vidyananda with another decent ball. Cleared away. But from Sporting Club's point of view, I think they've got to stop these balls into the box. They're allowing the likes of Vidyananda and Chunsaba to play these floaters, if you call it. That's one, and two, centre backs have got to track them. Or the right back or left back, for example, whichever defender, to be honest. But it's a little too easy. It's like a training ground routine. Here's Bidyananda, plays it through, doesn't get the ball back. Ribhav with a decent turn. An arm with the cross towards the second post needs to be kept in play. Awkwardly, it actually was kept in play by Allen. Nice touch again by Vidyananda. Detol. Chunsaba. Zwala with the ball in. Easy this time for the defense. Vidyananda couldn't get there for a second. He thought he would easily receive the ball. And now Sporting can clear it away. It's just gone beyond Shubham Rana. Not sure what the stoppage is about. But we have come to a halt for now. So not sure what the stoppage is about, but either ways, almost 10 minutes into the second half. I'm just taking you through the history that these two sides have had as we continue. Bengaluru United actually won back to back BDFA Super Division Championships in Bangalore. That is awkward. That all gets there. Then, when they were about to complete their hat trick, Sporting Club Bengaluru gets founded in 2022, comes in with a bang, wins the inaugural season that they play in the Super Division, and qualifies for the I League 3. By then, Bengaluru United were also playing I League 2. Sporting comes in, wins the I League 3, wins the I League 2, goes into the I League. And all that time, Bengaluru United was still stuck in the I League 2. Time for a change though. Syed Ahmed comes in for Nikhil, who just wasn't on his game today. Took a decent left footed half volley, but that's about it. Maybe Syed can offer a bit more up top. So, Bengaluru United basically had it all, and then they just felt that maybe Sporting Club snuck in from behind and got ahead of them. But now they're on a level playing field. They're both playing the I League 2. Can Sporting Club Bengaluru keep the record that they've had against their rivals in the I League 2? Another cross in, headed away. It was Sporting who won the two games that they played a couple of seasons ago in the I League 2. Bengaluru United still looking for their first win against their city rivals. It is the Bengaluru derby. It is a game that these two teams would have been looking at and licking their lips and sniffing blood. Dettol, nice Travella ball through. Lee Joe takes it down. Could have just put his foot through it, honestly. It's one of those games where you get something on the half volley, you can give it a go. Bidyananda, lovely turn. Rib half plays it left. Bit of an overload on the left-hand side. Allen does well, uses his pace, crosses it towards the second post, in fact over. And that is a great move which comes to a bit of an anti-climax. Time for a throw now. In fact, time for a substitution. So Ishan and Shreyash will be coming on. Ishan Raghunanda, Shreyash Kitkar in the place of Shubham Rana and Sharon Stellis. So more than half an hour for these two to stake their claim. There you go, there's the ball. Abdul Hanan plays it through. As always, the coach is very vocal about what's happening. Here's a chance to shoot. Doesn't fall towards Ribhav. Vidyananda trying to win it back. Actually, he does. Here's a chance to turn. That's a bit of a pull. That's a big pull. Oh, it's been given. It's been given the other way. Syed Ahmed can't believe it. It looked like he was the one dragging down, but of course, maybe for the assistant from that angle, it was him doing the tugging. Either ways, will be a free kick towards the Golden Tigers. Awkward, bad clearance, or rather bad back header, and that should have been a little bit more convincing, but good chasing there. I think it was from Ishan who's just come on. That's the energy you want from your substitutes. Speaking of which, here's Syed Ahmad who's doing well. A handful for the defense at the moment. Eman does well, does really well, crosses it in only as far as one of the yellow shirts, and they've let it bounce a little awkwardly. It's been kept in play, haphazard from both sides. Chunsaba couldn't get away. And again, the ball is ricocheted off a yellow shirt. Bidyananda lines it up. Bidyananda shoots! What a save! Pied away. Here's Lijo, and it's blocked. And this is what I was talking about. Bidyananda has to get more into these attacking positions. Another ball into the area. Awkward bounce. Awkward claim, rather, from Gurjeet, but he has done well. Twice he's been put to the test by the man in the blue hair, and the man in blue has answered. But he's gone down this time round. And he's been struggling throughout the game, Gurjeet. With a couple of awkward dives and then a bit of cramp maybe. Should be fine here. And of course, speaking of Bidyananda Singh, he's had a great career. Still pretty young, he's only 28. Has played for the likes of ATK, Bengaluru's reserve side, Mumbai City, Mohun Bagan as well, Punjab FC, Trau, but just hasn't got a big string of games in any of those teams. Maybe this is where he can eventually take it to the next level. Also has an ISL title back in 2016 with ATK with his time there. A few of good performances. A couple of changes here. Ribhav is off. Looks like Jacob Katukaran is on, as is Akshana Tyagi. So top scorer in last season's I-League 2, 8 goals for Akshana. And it's about time that we see him. And they'll be looking for a few balls towards him, actually. That'll be important. And that one goes out of play. And Akshana has done well for Bengaluru United. There you see. Enamu was good down the right hand side, also taken off. Also spent some time at Gokulam Kerala as well as Tyagi, but would love to come good for Bengaluru United. Second season of asking here in the I-League 2. Comfortable in terms of playing from the back there for a Sporting Club. Cleared away by Abdul Hanan. Looking for a bit of pace down the left-hand side, but nothing really coming from Sporting Club's point of view. They've been giving it all. Not just managing to get anything in this second half, even with the changes. Looking slightly flat, in my opinion. Akshara Tyagi also part of the Odisha Super Cup winning squad back in 2023. Where he spent a bit of time with playing with the great Diego Mauricio and has really picked up his game, learning from those sorts of players, and that's what it's all about. That's what we like to see in Indian football. Here's Lijo K, cuts inside, plays it was the left hand side, got to shoot. I think certain areas you've got to cut inside and shoot. He just hasn't been doing that. Apart from that, everything else has been great. Another ball into the area, awkward one to deal with for the defenders. Bidyananda will pick it up and plays it backwards towards Lal Rizwala, who's always free for a pass. Good work. Dhruv Sharma has also come on towards the left hand side. Well, there's lots of shouting taking place and instructions from the coaches. Option there for Tyagi to play a little earlier. Wasn't able to. Be interesting how Syed Ahmad and Akshanath Tyagi play together. Slightly different styles, but they can complement each other really well once they get going. Another casualty from Sporting Club's point of view. Looks like it's cramp this time round. AstroTurf not the easiest to play on, especially once the summer hits. And we are well and truly in the Indian summer, of course. It's April now. And on the turf, it is slightly warmer. Your muscles, you can see a bit of cramp there for Lijo as well. Muscles start to feel a strain, your back and your knees also feel it. But you got to keep pushing. For all the possession that they've had, nothing positive from Sporting Club's point of view. They scored 3 in that first game, but today just haven't been able to get out of the blocks. Bidyananda, decent ball, does find a red shirt. Tyagi puts it across the D, but there was another yellow shirt. Here's Tyagi once again, opens it up for himself, can't shoot. Bit of a flick, trying to set it up for Jacob there, but the intent is a lot better from Bengaluru United as compared to their opponents who are just sitting back and not doing much. Good take by Dhruv Sharma. Tries to turns into a bit of space actually. There's a challenge that comes in. It was on the ball. No foul, says the ref. Lijo does well to win it back. Syed with the turn, Syed with the shot. Blocked. And now the yellow shirts can clear it away. That was pretty frantic from their point of view. Shunjanthan Ragui will be coming on in place of Lijo K, who, as I said, Was cramping a bit, but he has been superb today. Just that final product not coming. He set up a couple, but it's the fine margins that always come to be and play the difference. That'll be a foul from Chunsaba. Lijo putting in a good shift, 70 minutes of running, 70 minutes of taking on his players, but would have loved to see him shoot a bit more. That could be a pullback. You've got to be careful. Need to clear the ball away here. And somehow a shot has been taken. Decent block. That's poor defending from Bengaluru United. For the first time, they've been put under pressure and they almost crumbled under it. Asad flicks it on for Jacob. Tries to do the pirouette turn, the 360, whatever you would like to call it. That was awkward though, from a Bengaluru United defense point of view. Just allowed the ball to bounce a little too much, and that's the first rule of defending in the air. Head the ball away first time of asking. Don't take any chances. Slightly scrappy, but this game is slowly moving into one of those areas where you can sense a goal. Dhruv lays it off. Nicely played away. Here's Detol, who has spent a bit of time in the I-League with the likes of Mohammedan Sporting. Bit of a loose foul there on Tyagi. Detol also went to Interkashi for a bit. Here's Vidyananda. Decent delivery, looking for the header away, it doesn't happen. That's done well by Chunsaba. Vidyananda easy on the spin. Might get the ball back here, not the best of touches. Chunsaba has it again, 2 in the box. Finds Tyagi, takes a shot. Oh, in fact, that's a good challenge. And it was in fact Abdul Hanan. And I thought he was about to let loose. But now, in speaking of let loose, on the counter attack, here comes Sporting Club Bengaluru. And that's a poor pass. Got to hold onto the ball a little easier. A little better rather. Not give it away so easily. And speaking of which, Tyagi picks it up for Bengaluru United. Vidyananda. Hanan launches it, falls towards the right hand side, chance to cross again, good delivery, over the top by Syed Ahmed, who's getting into really good positions. And I think it was Allen who put that ball into the area, but a little awkward there from Syed. Maybe didn't see the ball or couldn't get the balance he wanted in between two defenders, but this game is heating up. And it could be a game where one goal decides it all. Left by the defense. That is risky from Detol. And luckily for him, Manjunath was alert. And it was a tough surface where the ball just zipped off. Can't be taking those risks. And for the second time now, Bengaluru United have not cleared the ball first time of asking. They've got to be careful. Chunsaba, lovely ball. Tyagi couldn't keep it under control. It was slightly hard for him. Cleared away by Gurjeet. And another awkward one for Detol. And this time it will be a throw in against him. Nicely won by Asif. Good pressure as well. And it's time for a cooling break as we head into the last 15. Anybody's for the taking. Time for the coaches to just give their final inputs and see what can be done, how the points can be clinched. Draw is not a bad result, of course, but a loss from here would be quite disheartening. 9 rounds of games right now in the I League 2. And next up, we've got a couple of games tomorrow as well. MYJ GMSC take on United Sports Club at Cooperage Stadium. Niroka take on Sporting Club de Goa. And next week, it's Bengaluru United taking on United Sports. So the Uniteds take on each other. It's a bit of a break for Sporting Club Bengaluru. They will play next on the 14th of April. Time for a long throw by Jibin. Headed outside the danger area. Bidyananda tries to get there. Mostly tries to win the ball back. A bit of open space here. Chance to cross. Decent delivery. Nice touch. Shots taken. It's just wide. That's the best bit of play we've seen from Sporting Club Bengaluru. They know that was close. Shreyash Ketkar put it into the box and it was taken down, I think, by Ishan. I think both the subs combining well there. It was either Ishan or Asif. It was a lovely first touch. Stopped the ball and as if it was a magnet, just stuck to the foot. Not the ball first time. I don't think that's a foul. So all the more, they have a bit of a break here, Sporting Club Bengaluru. So they've got to... that's a poor bit of possession lost. So all the more they've got to try and push. We won't be playing the next match week, so we'll have a well-deserved break. But if they can get their first win, they'll be really happy in this campaign. Got a draw in the last game. Good ball down the left-hand side. Should be kept in. Can't be kept in. Just fizzes off again for Ishan. "12 minutes to go. Lal Rizwala has it. Of course, always looks forward for the pass and looks like Devdutt is struggling. He has stayed down. Referee says it's time for him to get some treatment. A bit of motivation there from Manjunath. Nice cramp again for Devdutt. Of course, early days in the I League 2, but a win for either of the sides will just get them away from the pack. Especially the fact that there was only one team that won in the first game week, which was United. There's also another game taking place as Delhi FC are playing Karbi Ablong Morning Star. Delhi FC winning that 2 goals to 1 right now. The one goes out of play, will be a corner. A little too quick there. So that'll be a big win for Delhi if they can close out those 3 points. Morning Star would love to get back into that game. All happening in the I League 2. Looks like a bit of spray required there for Chunsaba as well. So this is really taking its toll on the players. Is this the surface or just the fact that they're playing after a while? It's Gurjeet who's down again. He's just about struggling to make it through this match. But this is where, if you're Bidyananda, you want to put the ball around Gurjeet. See if he can deal with it. So now it looks like he's okay. Bidyananda, this is his chance to put it into a decent area. And he doesn't do that, plays it towards the edge of the area, Chunsaba. And that is an absolute mess of a corner made by Bengaluru United. And they've almost lost it there by Detol, but he plays it through. If the keeper is slightly injured, surely you want to test him out. Might not try that approach again after this, but here comes Sporting Club Bengaluru, trying to make the most of that mistake. Ball into the area, headed away. There was an overlapping run made by Sabarin, but he didn't get the ball. Another cross in. Taken down. And that's really well done by Karthik Thirumalai. Smart stuff. Knew he had nowhere to go. Just played the ball off the defender and got a throw in out of nothing. Another big throw, long throw. Tries to keep it in play and cleared away quite poorly for a corner. That should have been a better clearance unless they want to defend the corner instead of the throw. You never know. And the long throws are being absolutely sprayed into the area. This time taken short. Cross put into the area though. Now it's headed away. Still, as I said, anybody's game for the taking. Back to long throw central. From Gibbons' point of view. But headed away easy. Pickings this time for the defense. That was an awkward one from Syed. I think he tripped. Sporting Club still have the ball. Puts it into the box. It was just behind. And the header is over the top. And eventually Gibbons stays down because that was slightly awkward for him. Coach is absolutely giving it to their players. You can hear it on the mics near the touchline between Alex Praveen and Mohan Raj Nalappan. Imagine if one of them concedes a goal now, they'll be absolutely livid. Of course, there'll be a bit of elation on the other side, but this is one of those games, it's a grinding game. You have to somehow get a result. It's not going to be easy, but it's about who can dig deep and find that last bit of inspiration. Speaking of which, this could be another roll of the dice. Raul Almeida comes on in place of Devdutt S, who's still struggling by the looks of it. Another long throw, this time headed in. This is a chance maybe to shoot. There's Almeida, sets it up. Shot is available. Wasn't taken. And they know it. Hands on head after that, ruining an opportunity which could have been cracked a little earlier from the boot of Asif OM. It sat up for a second there. He could have absolutely belted it. But anyway, here's a corner. Bit of signage. Let's see what it means. It means second post, delivered well. On the rebound, the shot is taken, but it was wide. A flick on was an opportunity, but a good punch away there from Manjunath. Did it at the right time. It's been a scrappy affair. But Sporting Club Bengaluru have had a bit more of these opportunities in the last few moments at least, as compared to the rest of the game where it has been the side in red who have created more. And here they come again. Bit of a slip here, maybe a chance to shoot, not taken first time. They're trying to intricately play themselves in, and it doesn't work out. Good defensive work by Detol. Of course, another long throw. Looks for the flick. Shouts for handball. No, says the ref. A bit of late drama could be on the cards here at the CSC. Cleared away. Bit of pressure on Bengaluru United once again against their old foes who they just can't pick up a point against in the I-League 2. Maybe today is the day, but not yet. Decent ball in, needs to be headed away, done quite tidily there by the defense. 50-50, who can pick up the ball here? It will be Ishan. Nice crossfield ball. Detol gets there. Vidyananda, who's very good on the turn, decides to play it wide and feeds it towards Dhruv Sharma. Puts another ball in. There's a runner coming from the other side. I think it will be a corner. It does go off a yellow stocking. Anybody's for the taking. The 3 points today. The bragging rights in Bengaluru still up for grabs. And it was the man who just put in the cross, Dhruv Sharma, who comes across for his left foot. In swinging delivery, headed away. As I said, the attack hasn't been great from either side, but the defense has been pretty solid. That's all you can ask of them. And is that 7? It is 7. minutes of added time. That's quite a bit, considering all the stoppages, many of which have come due to a bit of cramp. That's nicely done by Dhruv. This has been an impressive few minutes from him. Lays it off to the left. Oh, it wasn't read by his teammate. They don't even look at each other. Jacob and Dhruv, they weren't on the same page there. Jacob basically wanted a different sort of angle for the cross. That could have worked out nicely if they were on the same page. And that's what happens in the beginning of the season. Sometimes you don't always have the same idea as your teammates. Another ball in, headed away. Hestetol realizes that this needs to be played back up the field soon. 5 minutes to go. Flicked away, nobody home. Can one of these snatch the victory, or will we see the Bengaluru derby with all its hype ending in a stalemate? Here's Bidyananda. He's had something to say about it throughout. Can he get it back? He's waiting for the ball back. You've got to give the ball straight back to Bidyananda. The way he's playing today, off a different level. Here's Tyagi. Tries to go on to his left. Gets the deflection and gets the corner. And there's a substitution on the cards. The last of the outfielders for Sporting Club Bengaluru. Vignesh comes in to replace Asif. Here's Bidyananda. He wanted the ball before this. He does get it now for the corner. Delivers it in. There was a red shirt close by, but didn't get a proper touch on it. And now Sporting Club Bengaluru can come back with a bit of a counter. Sprayed towards the left-hand side. That's the poor option. Could have carried the ball slightly more. As Raul Almeida was basically covered by a couple of red shirts. This game has 0-0 draw written all over it. Well, it's already seen one in the first match week. And now it looks like that we will have a bit more added time because of another injury. And in the other game, it's still 2-1 to Delhi FC over Karbi Anglong Morning Star. That'll be a big win for them. Still a few minutes to go there. They're also in injury time. 8 minutes of added time on that one. All the action of the I-League 2 this season on the Indian Football YouTube channel, where you get your daily dose of matches and content and highlights, of course. Back to the action now. Bengaluru United lose possession there. A bit of a foul as well. Chunsaba might go into the book for that, rightfully so. And that's his second yellow. So that's a red card for the red team's number 7. A tactical foul and the correct call made by Mohammad Junaid Sajad. But more than today, it's the next game that Chunsaba is going to be missing, which will be a big, big loss for FC Bengaluru United. One of their best players lost the ball, pulled it back. A few juniors getting ready to play. I said there's lots of sport taking place in the CSE. And I'm sure many of them will be part of these competitions soon, in a few years' time. But anyway, they've got to now play the rest of the game with 10 men. Bengaluru United. A bit of a chase here from Syed Ahmed, cleared away. Now they wouldn't mind a draw, would they? Although they would love to snatch it. That is poor. You've got to hold on to possession. Here's Dhruv. Tyagi cuts inside. Plays it for Jacob. Could have shot. Decided not to. Bidyananda doesn't shoot either. Dinks it over. Syed Ahmad is offside. Ball finds the back of the net, but the flag was already raised. Been that sort of a game. Few fans coming in, but they haven't been treated to too many goals, any goals as such. Dhruv can't clear that away. Detol does well. Still a couple of minutes, I would say, in the Bengaluru derby. Both sides have got to keep pushing. You never know. Where you can snatch a win out of. Chance to cross here. Not taken. Tried to drive through, but that wasn't the best option for Raul Almeida. Ball down the right hand side for Syed Ahmed. Waits for a bit of help. Doesn't get too much of it. Vidyananda blocked nicely by two players. They've done well to shut him out. Need to be careful not to make a challenge there. Would have been a yellow card stopping a counter-attacking opportunity. But that is that. A stalemate to conclude the Bengaluru derby. Eventually, it will be 1 point each. The first point of the campaign for Bengaluru United. The second draw and point of the campaign for Sporting Club Bengaluru. But in terms of bragging rights, in terms of an advantage in this campaign over your city rivals, nobody's a winner today. And if you love watching goals, then unfortunately this wasn't the game for you. But if you like solid defensive work and good clean goalkeeping, then that is a big positive, especially for both teams getting their first clean sheet of the campaign. And the spoils are shared, but eventually Bengaluru United will feel like they could have had a goal here. There, Sporting Club Bengaluru did well towards the end of the game with a good bit of pressure. But Chunsaba's red card means that Bengaluru United will have to play without their number 7 next time round. But a Bengaluru derby where for the first time in the I-League 2, United pick up a point and Sporting Club Bengaluru still remain unbeaten against their city rivals in this competition, having dropped down from the I-League or the Indian Football League. So that's how we conclude this evening's game. Spoil shared, points shared, and for now, none of the sides go home with those bragging rights that we were talking about between Bengaluru United and Sporting Club Bengaluru. Tomorrow, we've got Neroka taking on Sporting Club de Goa and MYJ GMSC taking on United Sports Club. So make sure to join us for that on the Indian Football YouTube channel. But for now, with a goalless draw in the Bengaluru derby, this is Liam signing off.